Welcome to Rekall. My name is Marius. I'm the creator of Rekall, and I would like to show you a quick demo of what it can do. So I'm going to choose an online model for this demo, GLM5, which is hosted on Ulama. It is one of the best models currently available, and at the moment of recording this, it also happens to be free for a limited time, so that's perfect for my demonstration. The Ulama models are not expensive anyway, but it's great that I can do this demo with a free model for you guys, one of the top models in the world actually. So we are seeing the Rekall main screen, main interface. It consists of 3 tabs here at the top: chat, assets and console. We're currently in the chat screen, and this is the main screen where you will enter your instructions and prompts to Rekall. On the right here you can see 2 additional sections: context, which will contain things like architecture documentation that is generated by Rekall in order to plan the work and document its plans. And then below that is the tasks section. Whenever you ask something, Rekall will attempt to break it down into manageable tasks, and then it will tackle those tasks one after another until it's complete. So I was thinking of a fun demonstration project today, and I used to love the Knight Rider TV series when I was very young. That was on TV, and so I used to always watch that. So I thought, why not ask Rekall to create a Knight Rider effect web page. So let's try that. I've never done this before. I'm just going to enter my prompt here. You can see here on the top right we are in architect mode. That's the default mode in which Rekall always starts in. That's the planning mode, which is perfect for coding tasks because it will break down exactly what you're asking, and even if necessary improve upon your request and make an architect document. So you'll see what I mean right now. Let me just enter the prompt quickly. So create an HTML5 and JavaScript and CSS web page which shows a nice animated, or a nice, let's put it this way, a nice Knight Rider animation, like the 80s TV show Car v Red Light. Give the show the lights in the whole browser. Browser, and give it a nice glow, a nice red glow effect. Let's say as well as an 80s vibe. Let's just submit that and see what it does with it. So it is now submitting the request to the large language model. I'm asking it to analyze the request, possibly to ask any clarifying questions if it needs to. And we are in architect mode, so the goal of this step now is to create an architect document for this task, which will detail both what I asked and how it wants to proceed to implement that. Let's just give this a minute or so. Once it is done thinking about the problem and the task that I gave it, it will invoke tools which Rekall provides. For example, it might invoke write file, or it might invoke create file in order to write the actual architect document in MD format, Markdown. So we will then be able to read its plan, and we can ask it to make changes to the plan, or we can just accept the plan and ask it to proceed. So what you saw now there is in the tasks section, it has already created a bunch of tasks, 6 items. Analyze Knight Rider scanner animation. So it recognized that we are interested in that red scanner animation of a kit, and then it's planning how it's going to implement that. Design HTML structure for full viewport light display, plan CSS styling, design JavaScript animation logic, document implementation approach, and create architecture document. So this is all for the planning still, and it will give us a document like I mentioned when it's done. Let's just let it work. So one very important difference between Rekall and some other agents is that Rekall really does take some time, not a lot of time, but it takes a minute or 2 or 3 maybe in this architect mode step, and I did that on purpose. More often than not, I find that LLMs, even the best ones, they just jump in unless you specifically ask them to plan properly, and invariably they might make mistakes and they might need to go back and fix them. So all in all, just having a dedicated architect mode to start off with, it may add a couple of minutes to the task in the beginning, but in the long run it's going to actually provide much better results because it's now working from a proper plan, a proper architecture. So there it's done. It is telling us basically what it has done. There's also an architecture document which we can read. If I go into assets, I can see it right there, and I can open it, and this is its full plan. It's going to tell us exactly what it's going to implement and how. It's going to talk about the structure there. This looks perfect. It looks like it's going to be creating what we want, that red kit animation there. And I'm not going to read everything, but you can and should definitely read through all of this when you prompt Rekall for tasks like this, and then just check that you agree with its plan, and then afterwards it's going to ask you if you approve the plan. If I did not approve the plan, I can just type what changes I want and it will update the plan accordingly. But in this case, I'm just going to accept that it's going to work out fine. I'm going to say approve plan. Now you will notice it has switched into code mode. Now it's going to be actually implementing its plan and starting to write the actual web page for us with the animation, hopefully. So let's see what it does. You'll see now the task list has 15 items, so it has added these additional items based on the architecture that it created in order to do the actual implementation, and it started working on that. Switch mode, it has switched to code mode like I mentioned. It's just making sure that it is in code mode now. There is a lot of interesting things behind these modes. It's not just meaningless. Every mode has a set of instructions. So architect mode tells it to create architecture documentation, but code mode tells it to write code. But more than that, there's also profiles behind modes like code mode, for example, where if it's creating HTML and JavaScript, like in this case, it will actually read those instructions or those profiles for that technology or that tech stack, and then follow a set of instructions in order to create proper files, in this case the web page. But I won't go into details in this video about what exactly that means. I just want to show that it is now actually actively creating the web page. We can see there it started by rereading the architecture document that it made, because it's now in a new context of code mode. So it read the plan and it has started creating the index.html there. Let's give it some time to write the other files. So we expect it to write some CSS files. It might put the JavaScript in the same index.html, or it might put it somewhere else. It might put the CSS. Looks like it actually put the CSS inside that index file as well. So we can actually go there. It's actually done. Let's see if it works or not. I'm going to open this file and let's have a look. Look at that. Isn't that just perfect? So that was a very quick demonstration of Rekall, the way it works on a very high level, and then the kind of quality that you actually do get from it. So yes, I hope you enjoyed, and check back soon to my channel. I will be uploading more demonstrations. This demonstration was just for fun and just as a very quick overview. Up next, I think I will be showing some more complicated, maybe a more complicated game, but then I will also show some business-like tasks, like maybe consuming a web API or creating clients for web API or something like that. That's more typically used in the enterprise. But that's it from me for this demonstration. Thank you for watching and see you again soon. Bye bye.